Would you start your day with your phone on low battery? Would you travel to an unknown place without a map? Would you see in the dark without a light? I know I wouldn't. I can't even go to the bathroom at night without bumping into my door. The story that I'm going to tell you happened in 2021. On January 29th, I boarded a plane from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City. And 4 days later, I received a call. One person is positive with COVID-19. I have to be placed in a quarantine camp. There is no negotiation possible. I don't know in which part of Ho Chi Minh City I am. I don't speak the language. I'm all alone, far away from my family. We are in for 21 days. I ended up sharing a room with 6 other strangers. There is no mattress, no aircon, no privacy. And I'm not used to that kind of condition. But looking back 3 years later, this experience changed my life forever. And to give you an idea of my background, I was not born as a mindful person. I'm not a monk nor a Zen master. I'm just an ordinary woman who, since forever, have had this urge to help others. I could do anything to help others out, to maintain the harmony around them, at the cost of my own, as I used to have insomnia and overeating disorders. Until 2018, when I had a panic attack, when I lost full control over my body and I literally collapsed. That's when I realized that if I want to help others, I needed to help myself first. That was the perfect trigger to work and start working on my proudest achievement until today, which is my inner peace and my inner harmony. So since 2018, I've been working hard from preventing this panic attack from ever happening again. Physically, I would choose where to put my energy. I would meditate as much as possible, and I would practice Qigong weekly. Qigong is part of traditional Chinese medicine, and it's combining physical exercises to optimize your energy in your body, mind, and spirit. Emotionally, I've been working hard on self-regulating my emotions. Rather than being the victim of uncomfortable flow of emotions, I describe them. Rather than ignoring them, I analyze them. Rather than repressing them, I accept them as they are. And finally, mentally, I've been working hard since 2018 to focus on what I can control. According to the American psychologist Julian Rotter, locus of control is defined by how much a person perceives they have power over their own actions and outcomes. An external locus of control means that things happen to you. Whatever you do, you won't change your future. Luck, fate, and the universe decide for you. Meanwhile, an internal locus of control means that you are in charge. You control what will happen in your future. You have the choice. Not your parents, not your teachers, but you. So when I received that call to be moved to a quarantine camp, I felt paralyzed. But time was ticking. My bag needed to be prepared, so my priority was to self-regulate my emotions by asking 3 questions. What can't I control? What can I influence? What can I control? And in the situation, what I couldn't control was the COVID-19. I didn't choose it to happen. The government policies, the overall uncertainty of the situation, and the fear that I could see in people's eyes. What I could influence was doing my best not to spread the virus by washing my hands, wearing a mask, and keeping a 2-meter social distance. And finally, what I could control. What can I do now? What can I start to do now to change my future and my perception? And in this situation, what I could control were 3 things. How I channeled my negative emotions and thoughts by journaling and writing down my thoughts and emotions without judgment. How I behaved by remaining calm, following instructions, and mirroring other people because I didn't understand Vietnamese. And finally, reaching out to friends, calling them, cracking some jokes, telling them quarantine stories. Every single day, when I observed my stress and anxiety increasing, I would keep on reminding myself these 3 things I could control. Journal, calm, friends. Journal, calm, friends. However, my motivation kept on decreasing over time. I needed to dive deeper and to reframe my mindset. And to do so, one technique that I've been using, and I'm still using until today, is the 5 R's. It's inspired by the cognitive restructuring from the American psychiatrist Dr. Beck that helps on restructuring cognitive distortions. But before we dive into each of the 5 R, I'd like to define for you what a cognitive distortion is. Cognitive distortions are irrational thoughts that are twisting your perception of reality. It's either black or white. You should be X, you should be Y. Or it could be one single detail that becomes the whole situation. One cognitive distortion that kept on coming back when I was at the quarantine camp was, I'm gonna be stuck here forever. And whenever I saw that cognitive distortion coming back, I would apply the 5 R's. Release physically, release verbally, reset, recognize, and restructure. To release the negative thoughts physically, I would practice a Qigong move that is called the turtle twisting its head. It's taking energy from the ground up, and your upper body is twisting as much as possible, and your look is going as far as possible, and coming back to center, and then going to the left, and coming back to center. This move is amazing. It helps to connect your breath with your spine and spirit. It helps your energy circulate throughout your body. So now that you released it physically, it's time to release it verbally. And I like to do it by writing it down in my journal. I'm gonna be stuck here forever. Here it is, written down, black on white. Writing it makes it real. It doesn't mean that it defines me. Your thoughts don't define who you are. Your actions do. So now that is real, you can choose whatever you want to do with it. And you can choose to reset by taking one deep breath. So that you can make the mind space to recognize this cognitive distortion. I feel stuck right now. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be stuck here forever. This hardship and this cognitive distortion is twisting my reality, my perception of reality. Now that you recognize the cognitive distortion, you can now restructure it. How can I see this situation differently? And that's how I'm going to be stuck here forever became I'm safe. I'm helping the community not to spread the virus. This hardship shall pass. The more I applied the 5 R's, the more I realized being stuck here as the only foreigner, stuck with 6 other strangers, was a unique experience. It was the perfect opportunity to observe myself in chaos, strengthen my mindfulness practices, and finally become more agile with my cognitive distortions. All right, now I would like to invite you to discuss with your partner next to you one of your cognitive distortion that you have observed. It may include words, exaggerating words like always, never, or forever. Or you could restructure this cognitive distortion. I'm never going to get used to that bright light that is on until 10 p.m. every single day in the room. So please connect with your partner and discuss. How would you restructure I'm never going to get used to that bright light in the room? All right. Thanks everyone for your participation. My answer to this cognitive distortion was, I will build a shade to block the light that bothers me. And after restructuring this thought, that's what I did. I built a little castle in my quarantine camp, like a little princess. But this restructuring is only possible when you observe your thoughts first, without judgment. This is what we call mindfulness, being fully in the present moment and observing it as it is. Now, you might ask me, how do you think without judgment, without imposing one-sided thoughts? Once you have applied the 5 R's, it's also important for you to connect with your support system, with the people who are here, whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you feel. They'll be here to listen to you, to support you, to challenge you. But they will always accept you as you are. In my case, beyond the mindfulness practices, I was also fueled by the amazing energy from my support system. Friends called and sent encouragement letters. Local businesses sent me care package with great food. The local government of Vietnam made sure that every single staff was as friendly, as positive, and as reassuring as possible in this chaos. They even gave us Ban Tet and Li Si during the Lunar New Year. And last but not least, a psychologist helped me to make sense of this one-of-a-kind situation. But the thing is, it's hard. It's hard when you face the challenge to make sense of the situation. Because our survival instinct keeps on looking for potential dangers surrounding us. So irrational thoughts keep on coming back. And it's on you to observe them and to apply the 5 R's. Release physically, release verbally, reset, recognize, and restructure. Irrational thoughts will keep on coming back, but with less and less intensity. The more you apply the 5 R's, the more you will maintain your inner harmony to lead yourself out of chaos. Remember, your thoughts don't define you who you are. Your actions do. You are the only one to choose how to react to these irrational thoughts. You are the only one to prevent an inner chaos from ever exploding. You are the only one to find that inner light that will lead you out of chaos. It doesn't require any material. It's quite easy to access. It's 100% free. The only investment is your time. So when will you take the time to find your light? Thank you.